Hello YouTube, Stone Assassin here, bringing you a game of domination on Hard Hat, I believe. Today I think I'll talk about some classes, what I found works, what I found maybe not doesn't work quite so well, and a couple of things that I'm really quite happy with Modern Warfare 3 and some that I'm not maybe happy with. But yeah, I think I do fairly well this game using ACR Red Dot, Sleight of Hand, Quick Draw, and Marksman. I think Marksman's quite a beastie perk if you haven't got Dead Silence. You don't even have to be looking at people, it just pops up the names for red on the radar, through a bush, through a wall maybe. Don't quite fancy looking for people. Marksman Pro is probably your thing. But yeah, back to the topics. One of my favourite classes for this game, well, my favourite assault rifle in this game right now is probably the ACR. Whack a red dot on that and some focus, and you've got yourself a bit of a raping weapon right there. Yeah, there's very little recoil on the ACR, so you don't really need kick, and loads of people just whack kick and everything, because I mean it is the default proficiency really. That first one you unlock, but it's not the best. Well, not the best for this particular weapon. Some weapons, maybe M14, G36C, or higher recoil weapons, then you do really want something like that, because those weapons kind of fuck shit up if you can land the shots. Yeah, I use Interaction Marathon Pro on, because I like to get from place to place pretty quickly. Can't go wrong with Quick Draw or Assassin if I'm in publics, and then some Dead Silence, because Dead Silence just my footsteps irritate me. The curse of playing with a headset is footsteps getting your nerves pretty quickly. Yeah, that's my favourite assault rifle class. I tend to use a lot in publics, but what I've been doing quite a lot recently is playing a lot of competitive stuff. I mean, most of the week, well, last week is Monday, isn't it? All I did was play deserter scrims, some WGL matches. I might go into a bit more detail on them later on the con, explain the concepts of both, and I'll probably do some commentaries on both in a future point in time. But the role I've been liking to play right now is the SMG, running flags and capture the flag and such. Ideal class for that, in my opinion. Might not suit you, because one of the most important part of picking your class is making sure you like the weapon. If you don't feel comfortable with, even the FAMAS on Black Ops, it was, by definition, the OP. In comparison to others, then there's no point using it. You may as well use a weapon you're more comfortable with that's maybe not as good. But yeah, MP7, in my opinion, is the best submachine gun in this game when you're on your game. Hipfire's pretty poor, but that thing is a laser beam, and it probably kills the fastest out of the other weapons as well. So I've been using MP7, extended mags, it's like range on it as well, with the same perk setup of Marathon, Quick Draw, and Dead Silence. Although if I suppose I might as well go into details of second. Other classes I like to use. If I'm not quite feeling the ACR, then I might whack on a G360, because it's a bit more recoil. Sometimes all you need is just to mix up a little bit. That's probably my second favourite assault rifle. And with the SMGs, the P90, as you see me using this game as a pickup off the floor, is quite a tank. It doesn't kill quite as fast, and it's probably not as good at range, but the hip fire is really good. So if you're not quite on your game, I mean, a hip fire a ton of people in this game, and Dead Man's Hand is pro. But yeah, if you're not quite on your game, stick a P90 on, stick steady aim on, or not, but it just chews through people without really having to do much aiming. So that's pretty much my classes. I might touch on the TAN 95 actually. A lot of people have been whinging, saying it's quite overpowered, but personally I don't quite see it. Up close range it's a 2-hit kill, which is pretty damn powerful, I give that, but it's at mid range it does maybe 2-3 bullet kill. But at its maximum range it's a 5 bullet kill, and for most assault rifles like an ACR, G360, that's not too bad. But when you've got a burst fire weapon that takes a full 2 bursts pretty much to get a kill, that's bordering on not that powerful. and that's not maybe something you want to use. With rapid fire on it, then yeah, okay, I'll give it close to OP status, but it's got nothing on Modern Warfare 2 FirmS. That thing fucked everything up at any range. It had great hip fire, one bursted at pretty much any range. Maybe a two burst. Definitely a better range than the Type 95 did. But yeah, that's my 2 pennies worth on that. It is quite powerful, but the range seems to be getting reduced slightly by Infinity Ward if they try and find a balance for it. Yeah, the other thing that's been quite a lot of people have been talking about is this this lag compensation deal. If you don't know, it's just the game engine adds, maybe if you've got a really good connection, adds a couple hundred milliseconds of ping. 0.2 seconds doesn't sound like a massive amount of time, but if you're used to having your bullets connect and then suddenly they don't, that can be quite irritating, especially as it punishes people who actually have good internet and rewards those who have Tesco dial-up broadband dial-up, which is, in theory, it's one of those really good ideas, but in practice it's not something that is working currently. If they can perfect it so there's no host advantage, but without sacrificing the ability for bullets to land when I ask them to, that would be a pretty damn good thing. But until it's perfected, maybe it should just fuck off my Call of Duty, putting it simply. Yeah. But although my sympathy does go out to Infinity Ward, it's one of those. It is something they want to do, but it's hard to get perfect when you have to optimize it for just about every internet connection possible, and you're testing on LAN settings in the Infinity Ward offices. Still, they can get rid of it. Everyone got used to having the host advantage, so I don't know why we couldn't just keep that. Yeah. So in future videos, what I'm likely to do is I'll do occasional public videos like this, where it's just me kind of walking around, just chatting on little kids. It's just quite fun to watch, but it's not the most skillful really. A lot of this gameplay is probably connection based. I'm happy to admit that. But I'm going to be doing some WGL videos, which is some 6v6 mixed mode, 6v6 S&D, which is a mixture of core and hardcore game modes. Kill streaks allowed in those. It's just a more competitive edge than Publics, but still similar to Publics. Get rid of launchers and such that just mess the game up a little bit. So somewhere in between proper competitive and Publics. So quite casual, but it's a lot of fun. Although they do a 4v4, which is similar, it's more close to DeSoto or multivariant rule sets. I've been playing a lot of DeSoto, and some GB variant games, so I'll probably do some games on them as well. Might even get a couple of the people who I play the games with to dual com with me. Maybe, I don't know, maybe do a bit of casting or something. Sounds like quite a bit of fun. But we'll see. Yeah, this game's closing up to end, so I don't really want to start any new topics, just save them for another video. So I might stand the British cop out and talk about the weather. Yeah. Weather shit. That's about it on the weather really. So yeah, thanks for tuning in on the video. I think I go 59-6 in this video. 7 assists. Yeah, I'll see you again next time and stuff. Best sign off ever. But yeah. Subscribe if you don't already. And I'll catch you next time.